What's the best time to visit Hawaii? I get this question asked a lot from clients, from friends, from family, and it sounds like it should be a simple answer. Go this month, avoid this month, and you're good to go. But that's really not how Hawaii works. Really, the best time depends on what you want. So today I'm going to give you the practical answer of weather, crowds, costs, ocean conditions, what to know by island, and later, the exact window I personally love for me and my family when visiting Hawaii. Aloha and welcome to Hawaii's Best. I'm Brian Murphy, Hawaii destination expert and your personal guide to planning an unforgettable trip to Hawaii. Today, we're talking all about the best time to visit Hawaii. We've covered this a few times on the podcast, but I think it's good to just do like a refresher. And there are better times depending on what matters most for you. Prices, weather, whales, beaches, fewer crowds, or just easier planning altogether. But before we get into the main topic, there's this new travel update on the island of Oahu. It has to do with the North Shore. North Shore Huaka'i launched on June 29th, the day of this recording. 2026 is a $5 round-trip shuttle from Waikiki or Ko'olina to Oahu's North Shore. Now, normally, a North Shore day from Waikiki means renting a car, taking the bus, or paying a lot for a rideshare that may or may not get you up there or get you back. So this shuttle, it's a 90-day pilot, so there is an end date right now as they assess. The stops are in Waialua and Haleiwa. The goal is simple. It's to support North Shore businesses still recovering from the March Kona low storms that just wreaked havoc on the North Shore. But one rule, to ride back, you need proof that you bought something from a participating North Shore business. So lunch, coffee, shave ice, or a small souvenir really all count, but seats are limited. So book at northshorehuakai.com. That's HUAKAI. And from there, you can go and get your reservation, or you can go through a NOAA Tours. Both will be linked below in the show notes. All right, so let's get to the main topic of today. And really the bigger picture is Hawaii has two main seasons. There's a warmer, drier season, usually around May through October. Then there's the cooler, wetter season, usually around October through April. But I wouldn't say, don't let the quote cooler fool you. Don't think it's cold. For most visitors, temperature is not what makes or breaks a Hawaii trip. Most of the time, it's really warm enough in Hawaii. Really, the bigger questions are how much rain might you get? What side of the island are you staying on? And what will the waves be like? What's the surf like at the beaches? And how crowded will it feel? And really, how much will it cost? Hawaii weather it's very local, and it can rain on one side of the island and be sunny on the other side. Think windward areas are usually wetter. Leeward areas are usually drier. You see a lot more of the resorts on the drier leeward side of the islands. So think Ko'olina, Kona, Ka'anapali on Maui. So don't just think about the actual month you're visiting. Think about month, the island, and the side, the coast of the island that you're visiting. Hawaii has a few obvious busy windows as far as crowds go. Summer is busy because, school is out. Spring break is busy, especially March into, I'd say like late-ish March into early April. And the holidays, you got Thanksgiving through New Year's Eve are usually expensive and crowded. However, after Thanksgiving and kind of that first week or two of December, it can be a good opportunity there to kind of sneak in a trip if you can make it. But a lot of families have to travel during school breaks. Obviously, we have to do that now. If we want to get away in a shoulder season, we have to do independent studies, or we just have to get creative in how we get the family over there. But for the most part, with school now, with sports, and our couple girls in high school, a lot of that hinges on their schedule. So I totally get it. And I just want to kind of just pause real quick. Really, the best time to visit Hawaii is the time that you're able to make it work. I mean, if anytime you can get away and visit Hawaii, it's going to be great. But you just got to know, if you visit in July versus March, it's just going to be different. So that's the purpose of this. But if you have flexibility, shoulder season is where I would definitely start. So May is a strong choice. You're after spring break, but before the full summer rush. And then September and October are also strong options. You're after the family summer travel surge, but before the holidays really start ramping up. That can mean fewer people, better lodging options, and sometimes, better rates. Prices move around and fluctuate quite a bit with hotels and especially with flights. But September and October are months I would look at first if you're trying to get fewer crowds and maybe save a little bit extra money and still get some really great weather. And one more thing on that is don't assume vacation rentals are cheaper than hotels. Now, you compare the full price, including fees, taxes, parking, rental car needs, and also make sure any vacation rental you book is legal and permitted. I've covered this on other episodes, and I'll be sure to link that below and how to vet an Airbnb or a vacation rental in general to make sure that it's legit and legal. Now, talking a little bit about ocean conditions, this might be the part where a lot of people miss. The ocean changes by season. It changes by shoreline, the side of the island. In winter, north-facing shores usually get the bigger surf. That's really why Oahu's North Shore is famous in the winter. I mean, it's famous all the time, but as far as surf competitions go, North Shore, wintertime on the island of Oahu is where it's at. It's going to be packed. If there's a surf competition, you definitely do not want to get in the water. It's incredible to watch, but that does not mean it's just a casual swimming beach. Now, the South Shore if we're going to pick on Oahu, the South Shore of Oahu, think, Waikiki, is going to be calmer during the wintertime. For most of you visiting, big winter surf is something to just respect from the sand at a safe distance. Now, in the summer, south-facing shores can pick up more swell. We're starting to see that right now. If you've been watching the news at all, there are quite a bit of larger swells happening on south-facing shores in the islands. Trade winds can also make east-facing beaches choppier. So really the question is not just, is it sunny? The better question is this beach safe today for what I want to do? So you always check ocean conditions, no matter the time of year. Pay attention to posted signs. Ask lifeguards. They're incredibly helpful. They don't want to have to rescue you, and you're not bugging them if you ask a lifeguard. But with that, always swim at lifeguarded beaches. That's just super important, especially traveling with family. Now, at beach, it can look beautiful and still be unsafe, but that's not trying to be dramatic. That's just the way the ocean goes in Hawaii. So always err on the side of caution and respect, especially with the ocean. And I think this is kind of a good spot to mention Shaka Guide, because once you understand how much timing and location matters in Hawaii, it helps you have a guide that lets you move at your own pace. And that's really why I love today's sponsor of the podcast, Shaka Guide. I've used them for years. I'm talking about almost since they started about 10 years ago. Shaka Guide gives you self-guided audio tours right from your phone. You can download it on your phone and take the tour that you want to do. So as you're driving along Oahu, Maui, Kauai, or Hawaii Island, or even some mainland destinations now, it helps you know what you're seeing, like where to stop. Is that place really worth to stop and what to skip? It does a great job of giving you turn-by-turn directions and respecting the area that you're in as well. So I like it because it adds context without locking your whole day into a group, bus tour. Not something that I'm always a fan of. But if you're curious on checking out Shaka Guide, go to hawaiisbesttravel.com/Shaka Summer and use code Hawaii'sBest for 15% off all your guides and bundles. That includes Hawaii guides and even mainland tours as well. Again, you just go to hawaiisbesttravel.com/Shaka Summer, code Hawaii'sBest. Now, earlier I said I'd share the window. I personally love visiting Hawaii. And if I can pick any time to visit Hawaii, my top choice would be late September to mid-October. That's personally my favorite window to visit. My second choice would be late January through February. Usually like February in general has been really good for my family and I. But now that our kids are older, we do more the traditional kind of Christmas break is kind of what we've been doing lately as a family. And yeah, it might be a little bit busier. We've had good luck at it not being too busy where we're at. But I think anytime that you can, again, not to sound cheesy, but anytime you can get away with the family and spend it in Hawaii, really it's about making memories with your family while you're there. So going back to why late September to mid-October is my favorite, you're past the summer travel rush. A lot of kids are back in school. The weather is still warm. The ocean feels great, and the trip can feel less rushed. Allie and I, we've done this a couple times where if we've gotten away to Hawaii, just the two of us, we usually try to go during this time of year or that February time of year. But it's still Hawaii. It's still going to be busy. So, everywhere it's not just empty. But compared to summer, spring break, or the holidays, that window can feel like the islands, I think, have a little bit more breathing room. Late January through February is also like a second choice for us, just for a different reason. That's winter. You can kind of see if you want to do whale watching, that happens during that time of year. But it can be more rainy and the surf can be higher on those north-facing shores. So just have that in mind. Speaking of whales, if humpback whales are, on your main reason for wanting to go to Hawaii, you're looking at winter time. And that's really usually between January through March is the stronger window for whale watching. It does start in mid-December, but really January through March is a really great option, especially if you're on Maui. Late January through February is a great window to do whale watching. If your main goal is beach time, doing that whole thing, think less about the exact month and more about the coast, the side of the island you're going to be staying on. For dry, reliable beach weather, again, leeward sides are usually your friend. Places like West and South Maui, Waikiki and Ko'olina on Oahu, Poipu on Kauai, and the Kona side of Hawaii Island, or the Big Island, are really great places to start. For classic beach days, I would say like May, September, and October are really some strong options. Summer can be good too, but again, it's busier. But if summer is really your only option, that's okay. Just plan earlier, expect more people, and book things that matter most before you go. And one tip around that, if you're able to get like early June, like the first couple weeks of June, that can actually be a good time to go. That could be a great window because the huge summer rush hasn't happened. It's starting to. That could be a really great option if summer is really your only time to go as a family. For Oahu, May, late September, and October are strong if you want easier planning and good overall weather. Winter can be fun if you want to see big surf on the North Shore. For Maui, late January through February is one of my favorite windows for whale watching there. It's lower crowds, beautiful, but look at late September, October as well. For Kauai, really look at May and September. It's slower, greener. It's a bit more relaxed. I mean, Kauai is already pretty relaxed, but winter on Kauai can bring a lot more rain, especially on the North Shore. For Hawaii Island, for the Big Island, really this matters a lot, I think more so than the other islands because Hilo on the east side is so much wetter, so much greener. Kona, where the majority of the resorts are, is a lot drier, a lot sunnier. And one tip on the Big Island is the island is huge, so don't underestimate drive times. You're staying on Kona and you want to go do, if you want to go over to Hilo for the day, it's a drive across the island, hour and a half or so, just to get across to Hilo town. To answer directly, what's the single best time to visit Hawaii? The practical answer is May, September, and October are really the best months to visit. But my personal favorite is late September and mid-October. That's really my top choice. It's warm. The water's still nice and warm from summertime. You're past the summer rush and you're not into the holiday season yet. And that trip is a lot more relaxing. So bottom line, don't plan your Hawaii trip around a generic best month list. Plan it around what you actually want. You want to see some whales, better beach days, lower prices, fewer crowds, or easier logistics. Then choose the island and the coast and the season that match that kind of trip best. And if you want to go even more in depth on the best times and really month by month, cover this on the blog quite a bit. I'll drop those links below, but I also put together a guide for you that you can download for free, and I'll link that below in the show notes as well. So I hope this episode was helpful for you and you're planning your Hawaii trip. And if it was, just ask you to also, once you go down in the show notes, maybe go ahead and hit follow on your podcast app. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, that would mean the world to me. All right, just hit follow. And the next time that I release this coming Friday, you'll get a notification right away to get the episode. So until then, as always, live with aloha. Mahalo for listening to Hawaii's Best. If you found today's episode helpful, make sure to hit follow on your podcast app so you don't miss future episodes. You can find all links and resources mentioned today in the show notes below. Hawaii's Best is produced by Shorebreak Media Group, edited by Easy Podcast Solutions, and with music by our friends Stick Figure.